Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, April 30th. I'm Stephanie Haney here with your top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. Each morning, as you know, we'll kick off with yesterday's numbers released from the Ohio Department of Health so everyone has an idea of where we stand in terms of COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio. Yesterday, as of 2 p.m., the number of reported cases in Ohio was 17,303 cases of COVID-19 coronavirus. The number of deaths reported yesterday was 937. That included the largest single-day increase from a 24-hour period of 138 new deaths related to COVID-19 coronavirus. Now, keep in mind, this is based on the expanded CDC definition of both positive confirmed COVID-19 cases and also probable COVID-19 cases. We get those numbers each day at 2 p.m., so at 2 p.m. I'll be back here with those updated numbers for you. We start off today with news from our investigative team. Investigative reporter Rachel Polanski has just filed this story. Former Cuyahoga County Commissioner Jimmy DIMORA is among the list of medically vulnerable inmates who are being considered for release or transfer from the federal correctional institution ELKTON due to COVID-19 spreading concerns. DIMORA is serving a 28-year prison sentence for corruption-related crimes. Last week, 3 News Investigates reported that a federal judge in Cleveland ordered the ELKTON facility to begin identifying inmates that are eligible to be released or transferred out due to the spread of COVID-19 in the facility. ELKTON Correctional Institution in Columbiana County, for those who aren't aware, is about 100 miles southeast of Cleveland. So we do have that full list up on WKYC.com if you want to take a look at who the inmates are who are being considered for possible release and transfer out of the ELKTON facility related to COVID-19. Now, I told you yesterday we'd be talking about unemployment numbers today. In the U.S., a total of 30 million people have now filed for unemployment. That's up from 26 million people last week. This number accounts for just the last 6 weeks, which is roughly since we became aware that the virus was present here in the U.S. Of course, now we are getting more reports that we were not accurate about the introduction of the virus, or at least the known cases of the virus here in the U.S. We do think it may have been here sooner, according to experts. So to put that in perspective, that is more people than the total number of people that live in the New York and Chicago metropolitan areas combined. It adds up to more than 1 in 6 American workers have now filed for unemployment benefits here in the U.S. With more employers cutting payroll to save money, economists are predicting that the unemployment rate for April could be as high as 20%. That would be the highest rate since the Great Depression, which saw a 25% unemployment rate at that time. So we all know that states are very eager to reopen their economies, and many health experts say that could possibly generate a second wave of COVID-19, but a lot of people are very restless at this moment, and we're seeing a lot of sentiment of people who are just anxious to get back out there and get back to work. Now, among those 30 million in the U.S. who have filed for employment, Ohio accounts for over 1 million of those people now as of today. More than 1 million people have filed for unemployment claims here in Ohio alone in the past 6 weeks. For the week ending April 25th, 92,920 people filed jobless claims with the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services. That's down from the previous week. The previous week, we saw 109,369 new claims. That's still a lot of claims. So the numbers announced today push that over 1 million. There are now a total of 1,057,486 jobless claims here in the state of Ohio. That's about 340,000 more than the total jobless claims over the last 2 years. So in the last 6 weeks, we have over 1 million jobless claims in Ohio. So in the last 6 weeks, we have more jobless claims, 340,000 more jobless claims than in the last 2 years in the state of Ohio. The state says it has now distributed more than $1.45 billion in unemployment checks to more than 481,000 people. But if you take a look at the number who have filed, that's less than half of the people who have filed. So a lot of people are still waiting for money who have filed, still hoping to qualify. The state says that more than 1,600 workers are taking calls at Ohio's 7-day-a-week call center. Now, if you want to apply for benefits, if you've still not been able to go through and get a hold of someone and file for those benefits, the website is unemploymenthelp.ohio.gov. That's also where you can find information related to the expanded unemployment benefits. That's the pandemic expanded coverage under the U.S. CARES Act. So that's if you're a 1099 employee, a part-time employee, someone who has already taken advantage of all of their unemployment benefits to which they are eligible. All of those people qualify for these expanded unemployment benefits. And that does include the additional $600 a week from the federal government. And these expanded benefits are supposed to be very similar to what other people would qualify, which would be full-time W-2 employees in the state of Ohio for unemployment benefits. So I know it is a struggle, but keep applying. As of now, the money is supposed to still be there, so make sure that you are vigilant and do keep applying for that. As we do look to begin the process of reopening the state of Ohio tomorrow, May 1st, Governor Mike DeWine is urging us to be exceedingly careful as businesses do start to reopen. On Wednesday, he said, we're trying to get this economy moving forward, but at the same time, we have to just be exceedingly careful. The virus is still very much out there. It's not gone away. It's not going to go away for a while. He went on to say the way the virus travels is still the same. If you have people grouping together, one can spread it to the other. And he said this, I guess the thing I would ask our fellow citizens to remember is even if you're not sick, even if you don't feel bad, you could be carrying it. So as he talks about this, he's referring to offices being able to reopen. That's this coming Monday on May 4th. And also as retail shops are able to reopen on May 12th. And of course, there has been the controversy over the moving back and forth between the required masks policy. The way things stand right now, employees who return to work on the 4th and the 12th will be required to wear masks. Consumers will not be required to wear masks, but they are highly recommended to wear masks. And also, this is a good point to remind everyone that the medical experts say the masks are about stopping the spread to other people. So keep that in mind. It could be a while, speaking of stores and shopping, before disinfectants are back on the shelves in an easily accessible way. Experts estimate that stores nationwide will not be fully restocked with disinfectant wipes and sprays and those kinds of things until possibly June or even July. Patrick Penfield, who is a professor of supply chain management at Syracuse University, told this to CNN. He said one of the issues, they can't get enough ingredients for the disinfectants, the wipes, and that's been their biggest issue. Most of those ingredients, the base ingredients, they actually come from overseas and specifically from China. USA Today reported corner stores and local drugstores might not be restocked anytime soon, but the best place to check for products is warehouse stores. Those are places like Costco, Sam's Club, major retailers, grocery stores, places like Walmart, Ralph's, Publix. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention did also release information about other sterilization methods that individuals can use during the COVID-19 outbreak, like alcohol solutions with at least 70% or diluted household bleach solutions. And we do have many companies here that have stepped up, like, for example, Gervasi Vineyards down in Canton. They have turned their distillery areas into sanitizer production facilities. So people are doing what they can here. So hopefully people are able to get access to the things they need in order to keep things disinfected and sanitized here in Ohio and around the country. Just as businesses are eager to open up and people are eager to get out of the house, President Donald Trump has expressed that he is very eager to hold massive rallies and is looking to visit the state of Ohio soon. He said he's planning to travel to Arizona next week and is looking forward to resuming campaign rallies after spending more than a month at the White House because of COVID-19. He also said that he does hope to visit Ohio soon, despite the fact that much of the nation remains on some sort of lockdown as COVID-19 continues. Trump said this, "We're going to start to move around and hopefully in the not too distant future we'll have some massive rallies and people will be sitting next to each other." He wouldn't say exactly when he expects to be able to resume his rallies, but of course he said that will depend in part on the state. If it doesn't fit a state's guidelines to have such rallies, presumably the rallies will not happen. And here in Ohio, even though the stay-at-home order was set to expire tomorrow on May 1st, DeWine says that will actually be extended These phases of reopening Ohio will be modifications to the order. It won't be a cancellation of the order. It will be extended. It will remain in effect. And we are still adhering to the no more than 10 people at a gathering here in the state of Ohio, and that is in line with the current CDC guidelines. Speaking of places you can go, Put-in-Bay, unfortunately, if you don't live there, is not one of them. They will be remaining closed to the public while the stay-at-home order is in effect, but people at Put-in-Bay do say that they look forward to those island days coming soon. The Put-in-Bay Chamber of Commerce put out a letter saying, "Dear friends, island businesses have been getting your calls, emails, and reading your supportive social media posts, and thank you. We want you to know it's our heartfelt wish to welcome you back to Put-in-Bay this summer. However, as of now, only residents, property owners, and essential businesses and service providers are allowed to come to the island while Ohio's stay-at-home order is in effect. Important island businesses like the hardware, general store, post office, and gas station remain open, but with reduced hours at this time, and non-essential businesses in the Put-in-Bay area will remain closed at this time." But the letter was looking forward at the end and said, "Island days are ahead. Just like you, our island community is poised and patiently awaiting the reopening of Put-in-Bay for the summer season." So the people of Put-in-Bay are hopeful that that will come this summer, and we definitely all have our fingers crossed for that hopefully it becomes a safe opportunity for a little bit of a return to the way things used to be about 6 weeks ago, but with some warmer weather and some more sunshine. Okay, that's your early update here for the top headlines on WKYC.com. Next up, we have 3 News Now. That's with Jay Crawford and our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins. You catch that on 3 News on TV at noon, also on WKYC.com and our WKYC app, on Facebook and on YouTube. And then I will be back here at 2 p.m. to give you those updated numbers from the Ohio Department of Health and the rest of the headlines topping WKYC.com. I will see you back here in a little bit. I'm Stephanie Haney.